Hello, welcome to the weekly outlook in the DeFi Dojo. Today is August 10th, and we got something happening. If you're looking at the chart I'm looking at right now, Bitcoin dominance just broke its 2.5 year long trend line. And so, for anyone anticipating or waiting for an alt season to come, this is the first clue that it could actually happen. There is a lot of coins diluted in the market. This cycle and every cycle that we get that's new, you have more and more tokens in the market. I think we got like 1 million now, which is just insane. So I don't know if all altcoins are going to do well. So it might be worth some research and due diligence to find the ones that you like. I'm personally not yet going to go crazy with altcoins. I think that we could just now be seeing the beginning of phase 2 of the cycle, which is where Ethereum takes over. If we go look at Ethereum Bitcoin, we have broken through the 382, and I shared a chart already in the weekly outlook channel showing the previous 0.5 that was broken. And so now that that's happened, I can draw this downtrend now, and we go off of this. So the next resistance we're going to have is at the 0.0, let's call it 0.04 mark for Ethereum Bitcoin. And where I think this could go is up into this golden pocket 786 area that will test the main downtrend. So that would take us from that point to this point to an area that we've never broken before. So I would happily take profits on Ethereum once this chart reaches this area. Now, what price would Ethereum be if that were the case? Well, let's go look at the Ethereum chart. So we've just broken and closed a weekly candle over the level that I've been looking for, which is right around 4,000. 4,100 is even better. It's cleared all of these resistances that it had trouble with in the past. And now we're in the area of, hey, we're probably going to go see a new all-time high. I think that's probably going to happen. Now, how far past the all-time high? That's the question, right? So if we take the downtrend of the last cycle is how I get these levels. And you can see that the last cycle top hit the 1.414 of that cycle. And I know I got quite a bit going on here. Let me get rid of that so it's easier to see. So that is where it topped, right? And so it's yet to hit the 1.618 from the previous cycle's downtrend. So that would be where I think we could at least get to for Ethereum. It might be the top. I don't know. Now, if it's going to go beyond that, then we would take this downtrend here and get those fib levels to see if that's where we're going to go. But since we've broken this 4,100 mark, that is going to be the area I'm looking for a retest to enter. I might not get it. We could just keep going. So I have Aave. I've had it for a little while. I think Aave is going to do well if this whole thing materializes, right? So I would like to see Ethereum, and I will buy some if we see 39.80. I think that's where that is. Yeah, like 39.80 to about 40.20, and in that area, and I kind of overdid the gray thing here because I didn't really want to cut the number off when I shared the chart. So just assume that that's what I'm talking about. So 39.50, 39.80 is another important level to 4,100. This zone here is going to be I'm going to give it a shot and buy the dip zone if we get a move back down. And typically when Ethereum gets here, it does, right? Like, it's very rare that Ethereum has reached this point and not come down, reached this point, come down, came up here, got past it, but still came down. And now we have all of these examples here, got up to this level, came down, came down, came down. So it wouldn't surprise me to get a pullback here, back down to these levels, but it could come up and tap that R2 first at 44.30. I will be a buyer if we close a weekly candle over 44.30 before we come down to retest this level here. Anywhere in this zone is what I'm looking for, right? So 4,100, I'll buy a little bit, keeps dipping down to 40.50, I'll buy a little more. 4,000, I'll buy a little more. 39.50, I'll buy a little more. And then I'm just going to hang on and see what happens. Be prepared to hold drawdowns. Like, it's just what crypto is all about, right? Like you can't have like shaky feet in crypto. If you got shaky feet, go over to the stock market. It's a lot easier. You just buy stuff and hold it for a long time and you do well. With crypto, you have to time things correctly, and that's what I'm aiming to do. So I'm not going to get too crazy yet. We broke it, right? Inevitably, there's going to be a retest. Like that's just what markets do. Like, oh wow, like we're up here in this area. What are we going to do now? Like we've never been here. Like, right? Well, let's go back down and just make sure we should be here, right? That's just the psychology of it. So it wouldn't surprise me to get a little minor pullback here. I'll dabble and buy some. If we look at USDT dominance, this is what helps us determine what part of the cycle we're in. Like, are we near a top? I still think we are in reference to Bitcoin. And so it doesn't really need to go down too much further for me to enjoy phase 2 Ethereum and then possibly altcoin gains. This could hold here and just stay stagnant. Bitcoin can just continue to stay stagnant like it has been. We may go up and see 123, 128 again, and that would bring the USDT dominance chart back down to its main trend line more than likely. But this trend line doesn't need to break for us to have an alt season. Why? Because all we need for an alt season is for money to shift. We just need some of that market cap from Bitcoin to start trickling into Ethereum and then into other cryptos. And that's what we're seeing right now with ETH Bitcoin and with Bitcoin dominance falling, right? So let's go take a look. This is a big deal. Like, this is huge, right? Bitcoin dominance is coming down and it's breaking a 2.5-year trend line. It's crossed bearish on the weekly, gave us a retest and rejected to break that trend line. Like, that's a big deal. So let's go look at Ethereum dominance. Ethereum dominance broke over its 0.5. That's a big deal, right? So now we can do the same thing that I did with the ETH chart, right? So we were looking for that 0.5 to break. Once it does, I can erase this, and now I want to draw this downtrend so I can see how far up this could possibly retrace. So let me get my magnet, and I will come down here, and come on, magnet. There we go. And so we've broken that 0.5. Right? So that's a big deal. So where could this possibly go? Well, odds are it's going to at least get to this golden pocket here, right? And typically in crypto, it likes to go see 786s. So anywhere in this zone is where I expect Bitcoin dominance to go. Now, do I think it's going to go higher than that? I don't know. I mean, we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. So we're going to take this downtrend here and look at where it brings us. Brings us right to that 786. It's no surprise. It's not a shocker. So that is the area where I think we'll go. I don't know how fast we'll get there. I don't know how slow we'll get there. What I do know is we'll likely get there. Okay? So let's look at Total 3. Total 3 has this kind of minor downtrend going on, but it broke back over the line and closed above again. So now we try again, right? Like we thought we had it here. We got a pullback, 8 EMA support, pushing it back up. Perhaps we need this 8 EMA to get to a point where it's actually at the trend line before we try to make another move up. But this is going to be the resistance. This is our temporary support. If it fails, the 8 EMA and 886 here is our support. So we'll see what Total 3, which is the altcoin market, wants to do this week now that it's gotten itself back up over that trend. To get this entire chart, you're going to want to draw the previous cycle's downtrend, measure the retracements back up. Pivots have no meaning here, so I'll turn those off. And then I just drew a trend line simply from these 2 points, and you can see we're trying to break that. It's been a month now. We've been trying to get over this level, so we'll see if it can do it. RSI is bullish on the weekly here, so that's a good sign. Got all things kind of pointing up at the moment. And again, we don't need USDT dominance to do anything at this point for an alt season or for money to shift to Ethereum at all. So I'm kind of just going to ignore this for now until I start seeing some divergence happening down here to give me an idea that maybe the cycle's close to being over. But for now, we might have some good times ahead. Bitcoin, again, 123 to 128 is where I'm expecting that to go at some point. And let's look at equities. The S&P still fighting this resistance here. We had a big bearish candle, and then last week kind of recovered almost all of it, not quite. And so now we'll see if it wants to come up here and try to tap that 64.93 area before it comes back down to test 61.50. I think that we are nearing some sort of local top here at the moment. And for 2026, I'm still going to be pretty much bearish on that year. But for the remainder of this year, it's hard to say, right? Like maybe a minor correction, sideways action, another move up to the trend line before we start heading lower. Nasdaq, same story. Trend line here, R2. So you have these two levels to watch for over the next couple weeks. See what happens. And with the dollar strength, we're still just kind of hanging out around the 8 EMA on the weekly, even though we broke the downtrend. I think that this could potentially come back down here, maybe tap in before it moves up. I really don't think we're going to break this level until we see a real bear market happening. And again, I don't think that's happening until next year. So with that, I think that covers everything. So if anybody has any chart requests or questions, please drop them in the chat. If you like this content, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out with those YouTube guys. And if you enjoy this kind of content and want to see daily updates and join the community, you can join the Discord. The link is in the description. All right, so somebody wants to look at coin. Let's go look at coin and see what it's doing. Okay, let's go to the weekly. Got a lot of lines here. 21 EMA. Let's get rid of that arrow. Get rid of this line. It's divergent, but that's not. So maybe this is what we're gonna get in crypto too. See that divergence there? But then that RSI broke it, right? But we're back under. So it's not awesome, but we're in the greed FOMO zone. So yeah, I mean, if it does what crypto things do, maybe that's our new downtrend or uptrend line. I don't know. That's so wishy-washy. It's not even really a channel. Hard to say. As long as we stay above 250, let's call it 246, then we can head up here potentially in the mid to long term. It's definitely bullish. We got a 21 EMA retest here, so if you are still bullish on it, this would be a great place to try and enter long. And then just know you got to keep your stop at 250-ish, because then you could be headed back down here, and then that would be a buy opportunity. Here is kind of like the midway buy opportunity, and then see if we can come up and break the previous all-time high again, which is where it IPO'd. Hood. Yeah, I mean, that's likely headed up here, which is just crazy. So 162 is the first resistance. There's no pivots to even use because it's just so far up there. Yeah, this is very bullish, very bullish. There's some divergence happening here, but it's the stock market, so you don't put as much weight on it as you do in crypto. And yeah, until it breaks below that 8 EMA, it's bullish. So just watch that weekly. And this right here will be your sign on potentially bad things to come if we break down below that. Tesla, man, is it going up yet? I feel like it should be breaking out soon, and it just wants to stay in this triangle. So I've been waiting for this triangle to break. Let's go to the 3-day. Did it break it? I don't know. Oh, I got it did. Well, I guess it depends on where I put it, right? So there it is. So that's what we need to break. Daily EMAs are crossing bullish again, but it's kind of the same old song and dance with this. As it gets narrow in here, we want to see if it breaks down or comes and breaks up. Hopefully it breaks up. It'd be good for my bags. If it breaks down, then it'll just be something I buy again down here. If it does break out here, I might take a shot on some calls, because I think we're going to head to this area up here at some point in time in the future. Zora. Tell me it's still going. Is it still going? It is still going. Look at this freaking monster. Yeah, like there's no stopping this thing. We're above the 2.272, so that means we redraw here. Yeah, give me that one. And let's see. All right, so we're hitting the 1.272 on this retracement. Break 0.127, and then we can see 0.14. Break that, we can see 0.16. This would be the next profit-taking area. If it keeps doing what it's doing, depending on the market cap size and the token dilution, perhaps we get up to 25 cents at the 2.272 here. But definitely bullish. What is your TP on ETH? So I haven't entered it yet. I did really well with it previously from the lows, which I held on now, but I was happy with my almost 100% gains from that entry right there. And so if we do break out here and get over this little cluster from 41 to 43-ish, then I think we can see 87.71. That would be the area I would shoot for. Beyond that, like I was mentioning earlier, you'd have to take this downtrend, and this is going to get cluttered with fibs, so don't mind me. But then the area would be here. Let me get rid of that so it's easier to see. The area would be here for an extreme upside, right? So notice that 8,000 area is kind of like right in the middle of these two fibs. So this is kind of the zone I'm expecting it to go to, somewhere in there. Now, if we break 98.84 and 10,000, which you know that's going to be a massive psychological barrier, right? Like sell ETH at 10,000. So if it does break that and hold over on a weekly level, then yeah, we could potentially see 14, but I think that's a stretch, to be honest. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the doggo. I got a new golden retriever, so we're all pretty stoked around here right now. Okay, so let's look at Arrow. The market must be bullish. We have a lot of chart requests. Crypto. Okay, it's got promise. EMAs are bullish on the weekly. Nice bullish candle last week. Let's take, yeah, we got to go with this one. Golden pocket now. So your Q is going to be if we break 148, and so let's just call it 150 because that's the psychological barrier. You can see all of those candles there had trouble with it. Got one good try, and then that produced a downtrend. So golden pockets where things usually sell off. If you wanted to try for a retest of that 8 EMA, just under $1, maybe $1 for the psychological reason, that would be a great spot to maybe try it if you're not in it already. If you are in it already, this would be a hold for me. I would hold it and wait for weekly EMAs to tell me not to. TP targets would be up in this vicinity here. But again, I still think we're a little early for alt season. We need to see Ethereum do what it does first, and then see that money move over for those insane moves on alts, if that's going to happen, because the market's so diluted with coins. Like, I'm curious to see how this works out, but the potential is definitely there. Fart coin, I really hate looking up this one. Like, I want to believe in crypto, but when things like fart coin are moving, how do you respect it, right? So that's not great looking. This looks like what's called an Adam and Eve pattern potentially, which usually marks tops when it looks like this and bottoms when it's the opposite. So being that crypto is doing really well right now, and this is not even over its weekly 8 EMA, isn't really great. If it's going to go somewhere, and I guarantee you this is the golden pocket, 786, yeah. So we got to get over this level right here for this to go higher, right? So until it does, I wouldn't be interested. I probably won't be interested anyway personally, but if you're a meme coin person, 156.2 is where you want to see this break and close a weekly candle over to have confidence that we will head up to these levels, which, you know, I don't think that's happening. I could be wrong, it's crypto, but yeah, I think this thing's pretty high on the market cap scale already. I'd find something that's lower market cap with potential if I'm going to pick an altcoin myself. All right, so MNT. I'm more risk averse than most though, so I would like to point that out. Let's go with here. Yeah, that's not a bad looking candle. Tell me there's like, that's pretty sideways. So you got your obvious top here, and we got to take the downtrend here, and that would be, so, gosh. So because it's new, this is your golden pocket sell-off, and now we're returning, right? So that's a good sign. Support 85 cents, 84 cents, let's call it, right here with the 8 EMA and that 0.5 R, but it could hold support in the golden pocket, which is what you want to see. So you want to see this maintain at 96, 97 cents without going lower, and you want to see it break 117, 118 to have confidence that we're going to go make new highs. So that level needs to break. This level needs to hold, and ultimately once we break over the 886 in that downtrend, then yeah, we could see some serious stuff. So I'll keep an eye on that. I'll put an alert right here myself just to make sure I keep an eye on it. I like that. That has potential. It's been consolidating sideways for a while. It's kind of a bullish pattern. Yeah, I kind of like it. If it breaks up over that level, that could be pretty darn good. All right, SHOP. That's a stock. Man, I had this a long time ago. I think I took profits here. One of those ones that was a little risky to hang on to, but it would have paid off. So let's see where we're going. Yeah, that's what you want to see. So just like the previous chart, we're kind of like right here right now, right? And you want to see this move through that greed FOMO zone. So once it gets through here, it's almost a guarantee to see new all-time highs. 9 out of 10 times it will go see it. And then the main take profit targets are going to be way up here. So I'm assuming fundamentals are strong with this one. So yeah, this probably would be a good bet. And then you just want to watch for it to maintain over that 786. If things start getting funky and you see it fall below 114, 115, then yeah, it's probably gonna tank. So just keep an eye on that 115 level. Palantir, this thing, I actually have a short on. I have a put on this thing, and it is killing me. So I based my put off of this 1.618, and stocks lately like to go over this level now and then start going sideways and then fall back down. So I'm still holding the put. I don't know how much more this has in it. I wouldn't be a buyer here. I am kicking myself for not buying it down here, as I watched it for a very long time under $10. But you know, I didn't look into fundamentals much then, and it's definitely, I think it's gone higher than everybody really expected. Is it really worth this much up here? I don't know. When it has government contracts, it's kind of like, you know, it's a safe play, but it has been on a tear, and so I'll likely buy some at some point in time, just not now. And it'll likely be a while because this needs to distribute in some fashion, enter a bear market probably next year, and then we can see something that we might want to buy. But if you're a holder on this, congratulations. You hopefully have realized some profits on this. If it's a long-term lifetime hold, cool. Then just keep hanging on to it. It'll likely continue to do well over the next decade. But definitely bullish, and be careful. I'm surprised you're not taking profits on ETH till 910K, AVAX, and SUI. Well, I mean, I'm in crypto to make money, and when it has its biggest moves, that's when I want to give it time to do that. So, and I just realized I've been going over my ETH chart here. So let's talk about Ethereum again, because that's going to be the hot topic. So yeah, once it breaks this level that has been so hard to break, you bet your ass it's going to make a huge move, right? Like it's been consolidating in this range for years, and I'm not I'm not happy having Ethereum for this long and taking profits at 5,000, right? Like I'm taking profits here because that's the 1.618. If it goes beyond that, then like I said, I'll take that downtrend there and then take it up to the next levels. I'll get back in. Like I don't have any problem hopping in and out to make sure I secure my gains. So yeah, if we break that level, break all-time high, which is the 1.414, then that's a pretty big jump for Ethereum to go from here to here. Beyond that, yeah, we'll take it one level at a time, but 8770 is going to be my take profit target for sure. I sell at 1.618s. I don't care if it goes higher, and I sell at 2.272s. I don't care if it goes higher. That's money in the bank for me. AVAX and SUI. Okay, let's go use this chart because I don't want to keep using that one. So maybe it can do something. It's sold off in the golden pocket twice. Lower highs, lower lows through here. So I mean it's not great. And typically when you have a new alt season and a new cycle, there's going to be new tokens that will outperform the previous cycle's tokens, right? So I don't think AVAX, with how dominant Ethereum and Sol are likely going to be, will be as good. I could be wrong, but until it gets over this blue level, which I have marked here, I'm not real happy with it. So SUI is likely a different story. SUI is a newer token, or at least newer on the narrative talk about list. Plus it was down here for quite a while. And let's see, yeah, so you have this obvious trend line here. I'd go with that one first. And then we got to clear this 786. So get over 420. Imagine that. Get over the 420 mark and it can see much higher. It's bullish on the daily, bullish on the weekly, although it keeps doing this stupid move, which makes it tough. But it's definitely consolidating in a bullish pattern. I would pick it over AVAX. Broke that, retesting. Yeah, I mean, it's got all the signs that you want to see. Sell off in the golden pocket, return. Now it's finding support in the golden pocket. Supports around the weekly 8 EMA around 365. So that would be a great place to try. And I'll actually put an alert there because that's where I would buy it if it came down there. Okay, so yeah, I think that covers it all. SUI has a giant unlock on September 1st. I plan on copping after that. Okay, that's good to know. September 1st. That's not too far away. Yeah. So it's right around that 350 mark. So just keep in mind also, every week that goes by, the support gets lower because of this trend line, right? So it can continue to go like this and then like this, hit that trend line before it might bounce. What's important is that it stays over that yellow line, right? And so however long it takes to do that is what you want to keep an eye on. And I would put that point there. Yeah, look at that intersection too. So like if I just go perfect point to point, it's a perfect intersection with the trend line and the weekly EMA right around this 364, 366 mark. So that would be probably where I want to try it. So we're going to move that down right there. And there we go. Okay, I think that does it. Oh, LDO. We got one more. LDO. I was looking at this one. I'm not too sure. So that candle, whenever you see a candle do this, where it opens below the EMAs and then closes above them in one candle, that's a very bullish move. It's creating a bullish cross on the EMAs. And I haven't done this in a while, so we're going to move this down here now. Yeah, see, I would pick this over AVAX. And the reason is it's been consolidating sideways for like, I don't know, 3 years now, with no real with no real crypto gains. Like, like sure, it's gone from 60 cents to $4, which it's nice. It's nice gains, but it's not like crypto gains, right? Like not like alt season crypto gains. And so it definitely has that potential. And we'll go here. And so it's very likely we at least get up to this mark at some point and then see if we break that downtrend. Once that 786 breaks, then these are your targets way up here. So this is something that I would take a look at and buy over AVAX. I think it has good potential, and that weekly bullish cross here happening now. Let's see. Oh yeah, we even have divergence happening, right? So that is definitely going up here. This is also slightly, right? And that is clearly trending down. So we have bullish divergence, weekly EMA cross. I love everything about this. LDO for the win. BlackRock wants to create staking of ETH ETFs conveniently. The SEC then declare that staked ETH, etc., are not securities. Okay, well, regulatory stuff. Sui has a giant unlock. Yep, we got that. Hype and XRP. Let's look at Hype. These are the last two I'm going to do. If you have any other chart requests, please drop them in the chart requests channel. Hype's been bullish for a while. Hard to say on the weekly because it's so new. But yeah, it's definitely bullish. Let's see where we are in terms of fibs. Yeah, I mean, we're not there yet, so it can definitely get up to these levels here, especially if we get an alt season. Hype would very easily get to these levels you see indicated in the box. Definitely bullish. XRP, the one I hate the most. BNB's up there too. Let's see. What's Nano? I don't want Nano. So I just don't understand XRP's market cap personally, but I mean, so there's your zone. So break back up over 330 and it can head higher. Other than that, it could head lower for the recent market drawdown. If it does break 330, then we'll want to look up here. So potential XRP top targets 416 to 540. No, I don't think XRP is going to $200 and something. All right. Thank you all very much. And if you like this content, again, please like and subscribe. Come see us in the Discord. And have a great day.